Tubbs exercises some pretty shaky judgment in his attempts to help a teenage sex worker in a classic episode of Miami Vice. Little Miss Dangerous was written by Frank Military, who appeared in last season's Nobody Lives Forever, and was directed by Liani Chasso, who directed the feature films Sugar Hill and Pinero. Pinero is a biopic of the Puerto Rican-born poet and playwright Miguel Pinero, who, if you'll recall, appeared on Miami Vice several times last season as the recurring villain Calderon. The deeper you get into the universe of Miami Vice, the more entangled all these connections become. A teenage sex worker named Jackie, played by singer Fiona Flanagan, better known by her stage name Fiona, does a dance infused with a little BDSM flair at a sex club to the tune of Ted Nugent's Little Miss Dangerous, which will play more than once during this episode. Helping Jackie out in her routine is her boyfriend Kat, played by Larry Joshua. Backstage, Jackie tells Kat that a sailor in the audience wants to pay her $90 for sex. Kat doesn't want her hooking, but Jackie is determined to go through with it. Jackie goes off to a hotel room with the sailor while Kat waits nervously outside. Mid-coitus, Jackie picks up a knife and stabs the sailor. Later, when Kat goes to the hotel room to check on her, he finds Jackie catatonic, the sailor dead, his uniform on fire in a trash basket, and a Keith Haring-esque crayon drawing left at the scene. Kat seems saddened yet unsurprised by all of this, because this is Jackie's usual routine. Vice canvasses the streets, talking to sex workers and looking for clues. Tubbs chats with Jackie and tries to persuade her to stop hooking, but she's not especially interested in finding a new career path. Later, Kat proposes marriage to Jackie while Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers' Here Comes My Girl plays, but Jackie is unwilling to disrupt their status quo. A bag lady, played by Saturday Night Fever's Julie Bovasso, tells Crockett she spotted Kat leaving the scene of the crime after the murder of the sailor. Crockett smooches her on the cheek and buys her some beer to thank her, and it's adorable. Miami Vice has many strengths, but seriously, Don Johnson's ability to create exuberant chemistry with everyone he shares a scene with ranks pretty high on that list. Tubbs scares a John away from Jackie and chats with her some more. When Kat spots Tubbs with Jackie, he attacks him in a fit of jealousy. Crockett arrives and arrests Kat on suspicion of murdering the sailor. While Kat is being questioned, Jackie drops by Vice headquarters to ask Tubbs out to dinner. He gives her the keys to one of their safe houses so she can hide from Kat. There's a great shot of Castillo wordlessly observing whatever the heck is going on between Tubbs and Jackie. Later, Castillo tells Tubbs to do his social work on the outside. There's a lot of fairly subtle stuff going on in this episode. For example, there's a small side plot of Tubbs cajoling favors out of Trudy and then essentially ignoring her afterwards. This episode's a great showcase for Tubbs, though it doesn't always portray him in the most flattering light. There's nothing inappropriate about his intentions towards Jackie. Tubbs is not the sort of person to take advantage of a teenage runaway. But despite good intentions, he's naive and even sort of reckless in his attempts to swoop in and save her from a life on the streets. In the meantime, Jackie murders another John. Since Kat was performing on stage without Jackie at the time of the murders, Crockett and Tubbs are forced to eliminate him as a suspect. The sex club's MC, by the way, is played by Sir Monty Rock III of Discotheques and the Sexolettes, known for the 1974 disco hit Get Dancing. While Assault and Battery by Howard Jones plays, Kat searches for Jackie, who's been staying at the luxurious safe house. Jackie returns to Kat just to tell him she's leaving him for Tubbs. She has flowers delivered to Tubbs at Vice headquarters, which really sets off Crockett's alarm bells. That's exactly the expression you should have on your face if you're a hardened Vice cop and a teenage sex worker is sending your partner flowers. The entire climax is scored to The Order of Death by Public Image Limited, which is a post-Sex Pistols project from John Lydon, aka Johnny Rotten, and it sets a great urgent and angry tone for everything that will happen. Crockett searches Kat and Jackie's apartment and finds Jackie's paintings, which are done in a style identical to the ones found at the crime scenes. Realizing Tubbs is in danger, Crockett races to the safe house with Kat on his heels. Tubbs visits Jackie at the safe house and gently breaks it to her that he's not romantically interested in her, he's just trying to help her out. She responds by drugging him and handcuffing him to the bed, then sets the room on fire and strips off all her clothes. She tells Tubbs she loves him, and then she shoots herself in the head just as Kat and Crockett break the door down. This is a very vivid and very memorable episode. Set mostly at night, it largely ditches Miami Vice's signature pastels in favor of a darker and more saturated color palette, which works especially well for the dark and violent story this episode tells. Tubbs' quest to save Jackie is doomed from the get-go. He gets emotionally invested in her plight because she's cute and likable and shows a flattering interest in him, but she's damaged beyond his ability to repair. This episode hinges on Jackie, and luckily Fiona is up to the task. She turns in a strong performance. I'm giving this episode 4 flamingos. Next time, car races. Just a whole lot of car races and also a motorcycle race. So if that's your bag, you're going to love this one. In the meantime, track me down on Twitter if you want to chat about this episode, and I will meet you back here later. Goodbye.